Oh man, isn't it ironic that we are talking about this topic after yesterday's video? In yesterday's video, we discussed how not to get canceled, and I specifically said, please don't do anything that's worth being canceled over. You know, something like talking to underage kids. Today we're going to be talking about a TikToker who's just been recently outed by my good friend Papa Gut for talking to underage kids. Now, I don't usually issue trigger warnings for videos, but in this video we will be discussing topics such as grooming and sexual assault, so if those things might be triggering to you, feel free to click off the video now. Now, as we talk about this individual, we're going to be talking about the subject of grooming more specifically and how his behavior lines up with the typical groomer. Today, I'm going to be going on rain.org. RAIN is a website that is help for victims of sexual assault and things of that nature. It's a great website, and if you need information, I encourage you guys to go there. Today's thing we're looking at from RAIN is grooming. Know the warning signs. So this is the official sexual assault awareness website. And this is their definition of grooming, and it says grooming can take many different forms. It often follows a similar pattern. Victim selection. Abusers often observe possible victims and select them based on ease of access to them or their perceived vulnerability. Gaining access and isolating the victim. Abusers will attempt to physically or emotionally separate a victim from those protecting him and often seek out positions in which they have contact with minors. Trust development and keeping secrets. Abusers often attempt to gain trust of a potential victim through gifts, attention, sharing secrets, and other means to make them feel that they have a caring relationship and to train them to keep the relationship secret. Desensitization to touch and discussion of sexual topics. Abusers will often start to touch a victim in ways that appear harmless, such as hugging, wrestling, and tickling, and later escalate to increasingly more sexual contact, such as massages or showering together. Abusers may also show the victim corn, which is just put pee on top of corn, or discuss sexual topics with them to introduce the idea of sexual contact. And finally, attempt by abusers to make the behavior seem natural. To avoid raising suspicions for teens who may be closer in age to the abuser, it can be particularly hard to recognize tactics used in grooming. Be alert for signs that your teen has a relationship with an adult that includes secrecy, under the influence of control, or pushes personal boundaries. There's also a section here that talks about online grooming, which is what we're looking at today. Yeah, if you guys want to look at that, I will include that in the description down below. So, first of all, now that we've established what a groomer means, we've established what the definition of a groomer is by rain.org, I'm going to talk about Jorobe. Yes, Jorobe. The guy who was popping off on TikTok, I want to say 6 months ago, probably. He made a lot of feminist videos and speaking out against wrongdoings. Sometimes what he was saying was facts. Sometimes he did speak facts on TikTok, but also a lot of the time he was a little too woke for some people's liking, including myself and Papa Gut. I actually made videos that he didn't like. And I've had experiences with Jorobe. I made a video, I was talking, man, golly, what was I even talking about? Calvin Brandel got really mad at me. I know what I did. I made a video that said, POV, you're the pick-me guy.
I am a man, but I am a feminist. I know that's not usual, okay? Hey, women, shut up and let me talk for you, okay? Guys, women's rights is so important. It is. Yes, I am in your corner. Do you want to date me now?
And man, isn't this ironic? I said, POV, you're the pick-me guy, and basically I just said the only reason that guys act like they're feminists is to get in women's pants. Well, Calvin Brandel had a problem with that. He said that's not the case, and then he proceeded to try to slander me in his videos. And I made a response video and absolutely dunked on him because I'm a freaking G. Well, Calvin Brandel and Jorobe are good friends. Really good friends, actually. Calvin Brandel was another smaller influencer that was just a Jorobe wannabe and made other type of woke videos. Well, he lectured men not to assault women. That is good. You know, men obviously shouldn't assault women, and Calvin was a big speaker of that, but a little bit too much. He spoke about that a little bit too much. I kind of hypothesized before a lot of this came out about Calvin that he may have felt guilty, and I was right. He did feel guilty because he assaulted a woman in her sleep. I wasn't surprised, but a lot of people were because he was their comfort TikToker. Well, who was in Calvin's corner the whole time? It was Jorobe. Jorobe had Calvin's back, and they were good friends with each other. And Jorobe commented on Calvin's videos about me, saying, "Yeah, go get him." And I was like, "Jorobe, you're an idiot." And he is an idiot. A friend of mine, Nick Foster, we may disagree on opinions, but he says never trust a male feminist. And I'm starting to believe that because now we've had two creators who were the biggest male feminists on TikTok, and they're both very creepy. One of them sexually assaulting a woman in their sleep, and now we're discussing one that is a huge groomer. So, I want to establish the facts. Papa Gut called me a few days ago and said, "Gideon, Jorobe has been exposed for being a pedo, and I'm going to talk about it on tomorrow's stream." And I was like, I knew he was a piece of crap, but even this is a big disappointment. Because while I do think Jorobe is an idiot, this is a new form of low. So the facts that has been established through Papa Gut, because some of Jorobe's moderators, I guess on his Discord and other social medias, were very close to Jorobe. And, you know, Jorobe did have a cult-like community. And with that, oftentimes, it comes with abusive behavior by the cult leader. This being Jorobe. The facts. Jorobe has sent DPs to underage kids. Keep in mind, he is 27 right now. At the time, he might have been 26. It's awful. Obviously, you shouldn't do that. And that is facts. There is picture evidence that I'm not going to be showing. But I don't have to explain why that's wrong. Those were underage kids, I think 16, 17. He tried to force a newly turned 18-year-old into an Airbnb alone and promised alcohol to him. So one of his moderators, I'm not going to say his name, Papa Gut did. If you want to watch Papa Gut's video about this, I will link this down in the description. But here's some of the texts that were from Papa Gut's video that he showed. Jorobe said, "Who else are we inviting?" The underage child said, "Not sure. It doesn't matter to me. Whoever you want." Jorobe said, "It's for your birthday, though. Ha 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 ha. I'll see if Hannah's interested. Do you care about the location or the house?" The kid said, "Honestly, anywhere would be fine. I'm not that picky. I feel closer to WV, I guess that's West Virginia, the better. Probably, like, not across the country." Jorobe said, "Do you want something a little southern? It's warmer, like South Carolina or something?" And then the kid said, "It's very cheap, like $100 cheaper than the other places." Then Jorobe said, "And then we have lots of money to do fun things. But there would only be room for the two of us." And then the kid said, "Yeah, that's true. Maybe one with like 2 rooms." So, yeah, obviously in those texts, Jorobe's talking about doing fun things. We later find out that those things involved alcohol. And then we also later find out that the kid did not want to stay alone with Jorobe. I don't know why anyone would. He was trying to lure somebody who was turning 18 just then into isolation. If you refer back to earlier in this video, that is textbook grooming, trying to isolate somebody. That certain person that was turning 18 was trying to get friends to go with him because he didn't want to be alone. And Jorobe was trying his best, using all his power to get this kid alone. It's disgusting. Another thing that Jorobe did was try to get his moderators to create OnlyFans once they turn 18. He was trying to tell some of his moderators, I think like 2 boys, that, hey, you should create an OnlyFans. And he also asked them if their private parts were big enough to create an OnlyFans. obviously not appropriate topics to discuss with your underage moderators. It's an abuse of power. It's taking advantage of the fan celebrity relationship that you guys had, and it's gross. Another thing he tried to do was separate that moderator that he was trying to get in the Airbnb and convince him that Jorobe was his only friend. Trying to separate him not just physically, but now relationships-wise from the rest of his friend group, so that individual had nowhere else to go to but Jorobe. And then there's just so many cases of Jorobe being over-sexual to his underage moderators and other people. There's a lot of other things that have gone on, but this was the main crimes that I saw in the video of Papa Guts. If you, once again, please do watch Papa Guts' video. And in Papa Guts' defense here, first of all, it's a great thing that Papa Guts come out and expose Jorobe for the creep he is. And I just want to say it's a shame that he was taken off of TikTok. Papa Gut, time and time again, has been a person that has exposed groomers, predators on TikTok and other platforms. And what does he get rewarded by? He gets rewarded by getting kicked off the app. TikTok is a breeding ground for predators. If you guys are underage and you guys are developing a relationship with somebody who is an influencer, please be careful, guys. I'm begging you. I don't even care how old you are. You can be over 18. You can still get groomed over 18, man. Okay? Do not let an influencer take advantage of you ever. All right? I mean, it's a terrible thing. It's good to have a relationship with your fan base as an influencer. I do believe that. But there is a line. And Jorobe crossed that line. Being sexual with underage fans? That's disgusting. That's gross. Man, if I could have you thrown in jail, I would. If I could have him thrown in jail, I would. There might have been some crimes that have gone on that we don't know about yet. Obviously he was sending revealing pictures of himself to underage kids. And if I'm not mistaken, I do think that is a crime. And if it's not a crime, it should be. But I don't know. I'll have to get my attorney, Tom friend, on that one. Ask him about that, if that's a crime or not, and how much you can get him locked up for. But dude, man, Jorobe, that's gross. I know you've watched Papa Guts' video, and if you're watching this video, I hope you know that we are all really glad in the community that you were attacking me and Papa Gut and everybody else that likes to speak facts on TikTok. I just want to let you know our whole community is really glad that you got exposed for the piece of crap you are. All right? And I hope to see you in a courtroom one day. So what needs to happen to Jorobe? I mean, at the very least, guys, he needs to be deplatformed. If TikTok bans people for no reason, such as Drip Boy, Freak the Gemini, Papa Gut, they should at least ban the child groomers. I know they want to protect their boys, Tony and Andreas Lopez. They got Gemini. Let's see what they do to Jorobe. He's gone private on every single social media platform as of today. The only trace on the internet you can find is a League of Legends Twitch stream from a week ago from him. And I really hope that's the last we've seen of Jorobe. He needs to stay away from children. He needs to stay away from social media. And, dude, you need to get some freaking therapy because you got a problem. You got a problem. How dare you lecture to people about social issues when you got your own issues to figure out, man? You're gross. All right. So that's all the facts we have right now about Jorobe. I know things might be coming out soon. When they do, make sure you refer back to Papa Guts' channel because that is the guy who has been calling him out the most and who exposed him. And thank God Papa Guts still has some pull in the social media world because without him, Jorobe may still be grooming kids right now. I hope he gets back. I hope Papa Gut is able to get back on TikTok because he does a lot of good and he does more than people realize. You may disagree with his political opinion, but he does good. And I feel awful for those kids, man. Be safe on the internet, because there's creeps like Jorobe out there who will get you. Thank you guys for watching. Be safe. I love you guys. I'll see you for tomorrow's video. Peace.